Hi, everyone. I'm Kathy Hazel Adams. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm jumping on to talk with you about something that I didn't foresee talking about, but I watched a video yesterday and I just thought I have to talk with you all about this and bring the idea to your attention. So I watched a video from Telltale Tarot. This is an older gentleman who does sort of energetic tarot readings for the planet and for the country and he's in the UK, but really a lot for the United States. But the energy's going on with our ascension. And he's an older gentleman. I enjoy his videos, first of all, because he says in his own way, so much of what I teach and what I try to share with my clients and students and anybody who will listen. So there's kind of a simpatico of how we see things and what we pick up. Often he picks up sort of psychically as far as how events are going to go or what's most probable in the collective consciousness as how events are going to go. Very much agree with what I see. And so every now and then I watch a video of his, especially if I'm wanting to see, is he picking up here what I'm picking up? I hadn't watched one in a while, but yesterday I saw a 20-minute video from him and it was called, What Happened to Me Yesterday? And I thought, I wonder what that's about. So I clicked on it. And so in the video, this very nice man, I think Tim is his first name, he was sharing that he had gone to what I'm going to call an holistic expo or a psychic fair type of thing the day before. He lives in the UK, and he had seen a medium, a psychic, and this medium or psychic shared with him that, amongst other things, that there was someone that was in his aura attached to him, holding his hands and actually up in his aura so that the way it was coming through to her, that this person was actually wedged in between him, the physical self, and his aura, like so right up in there. And that this person was very confused. They didn't know where they were, and they were just like hanging on to Tim, clinging to him, and didn't want to go wherever they were supposed to go. Well, and Tim didn't evidently give her any information, but it sounds like someone very close to him, and it feels like his father probably, just passed away and had dementia. So yes, there was complete, total confusion there. And add to that, Tim did say in the video that this person, he didn't say my father, he just said he, didn't believe in anything that he couldn't see, touch, and feel. And so, yeah, here's death and here's things aren't the same, that he can't see, touch, and feel. He doesn't know where he is, and he has dementia. And so there he is, thoroughly confused, literally clinging in Tim's aura and holding Tim's hands. And then Tim did describe in this video that he has recently been not feeling well at all, having a lot of pain in his back. And it sounds probably like the lower back kidney area. Because he talks about replacing his mattress and that someone wrote to him yelling at him to go to a doctor. He had a kidney infection. But he is a psychic and he knows his body, he knows energy. And he said that's not what it was. It's not a kidney infection. Anyway, so I want to give you the information as I see it, and I probably will write to him as well to also offer that because he asked for insight from others who might know. Before I give you that, though, he went home and laid down because he felt so bad, and he talked to this person and said, I understand that you're confused. I understand that you don't know what's going on and so that you're clinging to me. But you can't just stay here where you have one foot in one place, the physical, and one foot in the other place. You need to go. You need to go. I can't continue to deal with this. You need to leave. And then Tim, after that, actually felt and feels a lot better. And he said, these are key words that really got my attention. I am going to just live life my way and do what I want to do, and to heck with what anybody else thinks about it. Not meaning anything mean, I'm just going to live my way. And I knew instantly that this is a deal where he had, I think, father, who did not accept or approve of who Tim is with his psychic abilities, and maybe some personal choices that I don't know. But Tim had been living under this judgment of being disapproved of failing to be what he should be, that was sort of imparted to him by his father. So that brings us to, can a spirit or a dead person or anybody just glom themselves onto you? So first of all, the overarching rule that is always, always true, and I've learned it from Seth and directly from Spirit: nothing and no one can impinge upon you or trespass upon you or your energy unless you, at some level, allow it. Put out a welcome mat for it. Allow it as a possibility. Maybe one you don't want that really scares you, not pleasant, doesn't matter. You're laying out the, yeah, but it could happen to me. I might be vulnerable to that. As soon as you are vibrating where there's an opening for that, that does make you vulnerable. If you are a negative, fearful person, always thinking you're vulnerable and something's going to get you and something's trying to get you and you're threatened, you certainly will have more experiences like that, and you may attract energies or even personalities that are sort of looking for a place to land. Like attracts like. The way I used to explain it to classes and clients, and it's not a bad way, it's like, here's your vibration, here's how you're shaped. And if your shape says, I'm vulnerable to attack and being infringed upon and threatened and, sneak attacked from the back, that's your shape. There is no option but for what you get to exactly match where you are, period. Vibrationally, we're talking vibrationally. If your shape is, I am good in my being, I am love-based, I love source consciousness, I love being part of source consciousness, I am the creator of my own reality, and I am safe, absolutely unconditionally safe and secure in my being as an aspect, as an expression of source consciousness. If that is your shape, that is what you're going to get. That's the rule. So we never have to worry that something's going to attach itself to us or infringe upon us without our, on some level, vibrational consent. Now, we may not be real consciously aware of it, or we may not have had the awareness to look at our actual attitudes and beliefs and realize it, but that's what's going on. So that's first of all. In the case of this person, this man with the dementia clinging to Tim, I really see this particular instance as being maybe twofold, maybe both. A lot of times the answer is it this or this? And the answer is yes. So first of all, even if the actual spirit of the person was off doing something else and not putting their focus on their loved one that's still in the physical, for instance, the loved one in the physical, if they are still holding the attitudes in their vibrational being, in their heart, their beliefs about themselves, if they're still holding the attitudes of that other person doesn't even have to be there. What's going to happen? They're going to bind their own hands because they're not allowed to be and do who and what they really are. They're going to have the negative judgmental beliefs of that person right there, up in their face, up in their business, in their aura. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if there's not an actual cognizant, self-aware other spirit doing it, a good energy worker would pick that up in the field of Tim or anybody else and say, you've got this going on. You're still holding on to these attitudes that you picked up from so-and-so or from your family, and you have these beliefs about yourself. Second of all, we all have different aspects of our being. We're multidimensional, and that goes for someone who just died and had dementia. So if Tim is still vibrating with maybe the trauma of seeing his loved one, maybe his father, pass away, the trauma of seeing this person with dementia, I mean, that's right there in Tim's face. Think about it. That's right there still in his very raw, in his perception. He's going to be vibrating right there where he hasn't let go of any of it. And so the aspect of that person, the father in this case with the dementia, is of course going to be magnetized and attracted to be right there with Tim's vibration, because they're kind of a vibrational match. They're magnetizing each other. And so the third variation sort of would be that, yeah, the personality that was the father with the dementia really is there and having trouble and clinging to Tim. And back to the second thing I mentioned, And it's finding the version of Tim that's still vibrating with the trauma of the dementia and the death and the lifelong trauma of basically being judged as not being who and what you really should be and do. So, of course, when Tim went home and cut the ties and said, I love you, and you need to go. You need to be clear of me. What Tim is really doing is releasing that energy out of his aura. He's releasing those beliefs and attitudes about himself out of his aura. He's releasing the tie that would keep the aspect of the father there sort of vibrating with him. He's releasing that. So, of course, it cleared and he feels better. So if there's anything that's been going on in your own life where you think someone is, sort of inappropriately attached to you or doing something to you, always look first at my own vibrations. What am I vibrating with? Because first of all, it could just be me literally creating that reality for myself that I've got this problem and it's stuck to me and it's following me. Or you could literally be attracting like energy, or it could be a conscious aspect of a multidimensional soul that is kind of in vibration where you are. But you are always in charge of your sacred space, of your field, your aura. You're always in charge of what you vibrate with, the attitudes and the beliefs about yourself, what you accept as being true, what you accept as being possible, what you accept as you being vulnerable to or not. And you work within the vibrational energy, the vibrational truth of the beliefs and attitudes you are holding. And that is what will change the entire situation, as always. So I hope something I said today was interesting or helped you in some way. If you like my videos and want to say thank you and support the channel, please feel free to go to my Patreon page, Kathy Hazel Adams Quantum Spirit, and become a paid member. Every supporter is so appreciated, and becoming a paid member of my Patreon community will give you access to those twice monthly live Zoom spirit talks that I do on Sundays twice a month. So I'll leave links below to all of that. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.